I remember at one point, it's like the middle of the night and I'm playing one-on-one basketball with Tina Fey dressed as Dolly Parton. And I'm like, this is my job right now?
Hey, it's your girl, Emily Curl with iHeartRadio, and today we're joined by Grammy Award-winning, 3-time Emmy nominee, 4-time Tony nominee, New York Times best-selling author, Sara Bareilles. Did you like that intro, Sara?
I want you to walk into every room with me and just like give everybody what's up.
No, we got to dive into music because you have a new album coming out soon, Amidst the Chaos, live from the Hollywood Bowl. And now you recorded this live in November of 2019. What made you want to release this now?
That tour, the Amidst the Chaos tour, I got to record this album with one of my musical heroes of all time. T-Bone Burnett produced the record, and the album itself was so special to me. It's the album I finally won a Grammy for. Amidst the Chaos has been such a tremendous gift and such a joy to me. And we went on tour, and the tour was bananas. I mean, I played Madison Square Garden and then some of the biggest venues that I've ever played in my whole career. And we got to the Hollywood Bowl, and I'm an artist who started in Los Angeles. So I played, every coffee shop and tiny venue and tiny club. I did everything under the sun in Los Angeles. And in the back of my mind, I think always sort of wondered if I could ever graduate to the Hollywood Bowl stage. It was, a dream of mine. So when we finally got there, I knew I'd want to remember it. So we made the record, and then last year obviously did what last year did. And it just felt really off to do anything self-promotional or to release a record. And we were so far away from the experience of live music or sharing space together. But here we are, we're on the precipice of coming back to live music, live experiences in venues, and being in person again. And it feels like the right time to celebrate that.
Now, what's wild is you also just recently played the Hollywood Bowl again, and this time to no audience, just to a live stream. I could imagine that was a crazy situation to have such like this monumental moment the year before, and now this year to be playing to an audience. What was that experience like? And, I'm sure, what emotions were you feeling and going through at the time?
It was so intense because the biggest takeaway for me was that you can even be in these beautiful cathedrals of music, as far as I'm concerned. Like the Hollywood Bowl is one of the most iconic venues on planet Earth. And yet, without an audience to receive the music, it just doesn't hold the same impact. So it was beautiful to be there, but none of this means anything without all y'all. Like, it just, without an audience to receive and to like close the loop, it just is, it's so stark how empty it can feel, metaphorically speaking, as well. And there were also just nobody there to clap.
What song are you most excited to play live to an audience?
I loved the way we opened the show. We did an a cappella arrangement of the song on the record called Orpheus, which was where I got the name of the record. It was just all about, don't stop trying to find me here amidst the chaos. And there was so much happening, politically speaking, and just as we sit inside this world that deals with so many challenges, it was the idea that we would still seek out each other through a place of love. So we started with an a cappella version of that, and then we moved into the song Fire, which I just love playing live. It has so much energy and power, and that one's a super fun song to play live.
Well, speaking of bringing people joy, you also joined a TV girl group, Girls5eva. What initially drew you to the role, and what made you say, okay, yes, this is something that I want to do right now?
It was an immediate yes, and it was one of those things, when someone asks you something and there's a little bit of fear behind it for you, those are really strong indicators for me of something I should go towards. And I got a call from Tina Fey in the middle of the pandemic. It was like in the dead middle of the lockdown, and I was going through first of many meltdowns of like, how are we all going to get through this? This is so insane. Meredith Scardino and Tina Fey were on a call with me, and I got to encounter these extraordinary women, and they wanted to make a show about women of a certain age, sort of claiming their narrative and taking a big leap of faith. And I just love that. And the cast is out of this world. It's Busy Phillips and Renee Elise Goldsberry and Paula Pell and Ashley Park and Erica Henningsen. And it's just all these powerhouse women who sing their asses off and are just a delight. I laughed more on that set than I have in years. It was such I was so grateful.
Why do you think this was so touching for you?
We had just come out of this long period of lockdown where we had all been denied what we realized was the privilege of going to work. So we were all coming to our jobs with this newfound kind of realization of how lucky are we to be in a space with other human beings. How lucky am I to have the resources to be tested every day so I can remove my mask and have a conversation. We were all in this place of making something in a really difficult way. And I think it only fed our sense of pride and our sense of gratitude in the fact that we got to do it at all.
Yeah, I mean, and the cast too, like you mentioned, is incredible. And Tina Fey, executive producer on the show, what was it like working with Tina?
Just a complete pinch me moment. If you guys watch the show, my character Dawn has like a fever dream where she's trying to write songs and she hallucinates a version of Dolly Parton played by Tina Fey, who's like her songwriting muse. And shit gets weird. I remember at one point, it's like the middle of the night and I'm playing one-on-one basketball with Tina Fey dressed as Dolly Parton. And I'm like, this is my job right now?
Like life is so good.
I just felt, again, so much gratitude for that. But Tina leads, as does Meredith. And as does Jeff Richmond, who's married to Tina, but also handled all the music and wrote all of those genius songs. Everyone really leads with kindness, which I thought was such a remarkable thing to see so clearly. We felt really taken care of.
And now so many people know you from your iconic role in Waitress on Broadway. What was the biggest challenge for you going from, a huge theater production to then doing a TV show? And did you like one better than the other? What were the major differences?
They have very different rhythms. Television, it's funny. It's this weird paradoxical place where it moves very quickly and also very slowly at the same time. It's like there's a lot of hurry up and wait, but at the same time, the turnaround between episodes is like overnight, and there's a lot of technicality about TV that I really was learning slowly, probably too slowly. I don't know if I can say I like one better than the other, although I will say that for me, communion with an audience, with a live audience, is like, that is as good as it gets. So I did miss people watching or getting to experience someone sitting in the audience. But I mean, our camera persons were great. They would clap.
They were laughing.
Yeah, they were laughing. That's right.
No, I'm in New York, so it was so exciting recently because they announced that Broadway is opening back up, hopefully very soon. What were your thoughts when you heard that?
Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for theater to come back. Within the theater community in particular, there's some really deep dialogue going on about how do we come back responsibly, and from a social justice perspective, how do we reopen in a way that creates real safe spaces for our community members? So I think it's exciting because ultimately this is what everybody wants. We want to get back to theater. I think New York, as magnificent a place as it is just not the same without Broadway.
Would you go back to Broadway? Are you planning on it?
There's nothing set in stone at the moment. I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, I loved my experience in theater. There's been a couple of things that have been brewing where it's like, okay, but ultimately for right now, I'm actually just planned a vacation.
Oh,
I'm going to go to the sun. I'm going to go to the sun and sit and sip a cool drink.
Now, I have a quick game for you before that. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your TikTok, because your TikTok is truly hilarious.
Oh, God.
What is your favorite thing about the app?
I have a real love-hate thing with TikTok, I'm not going to lie, because I actually think it's kind of genius, but it's also so manic that, I don't know how you get on, I go on TikTok and all of a sudden I feel like I'm anxious after 15 minutes. I don't know. Some of it's insane, but some of it's really creative and so funny or just inspired. I've heard some incredible vocalists that I'm like, who are you and where have you been? It's that part is miraculous.
Okay, Sarah, before we let you go, I thought we could play a quick game just to fill in the blank game. So I'm gonna tell you the first part of a sentence and you just fill it in with the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
The place where I get my best song ideas is?
The woods. Well, nature in general, but I grew up in redwood trees. So when I'm in a redwood forest, that's it's a juicy place for me.
The happiest I've been this year so far is?
On the set of Girls5eva, honestly.
My favorite snack to eat while I create is?
I'm a big coffee drinker. Less snack, more beverage, just a whole bunch of beverages.
Interesting. How do you like your coffee?
I like it cream, no sugar. half and half. Or I can do an oat milk latte.
Okay, my secret to combat writer's block is?
You gotta just stay. This is a good advice I got very early in my career, because I think sometimes I'm someone who meditates as well. And so it's the idea that you just have to stay, because there's a bottleneck and there's a feeling of like this hurdle or some wall that you can't get past, and you just have to stay long enough for it to shift, because it always does.
I couldn't make it a day without
Coffee. I just took a little coffee break just because I would think I was drinking too much of it. I can't do a day without people.
My first concert was
Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, Huey Lewis. On my dad's shoulders at it was like the State Fair in California, in Sacramento. But I'm trying to remember, the first one I bought tickets for was Faith Hill at the Hollywood Bowl.
Shoot. Oh my gosh. And is that when the first time you were like, I need to be up there one day?
I did think about that night when I was actually on stage. I was like, oh, I was in the last seats, the very tippy top of the bowl.
Does it feel surreal to think about like that young Sarah who had that dream, and then now you're releasing an album live from the Hollywood Bowl? It's like,
it's wild. It's wild. Yeah. It's really beautiful, really full circle moments where I get to just kind of sit back and go, wow, we've come a long way, baby.
The best advice I ever received was,
trust that the good ideas float to the top. Sometimes, especially in collaboration, it can be really easy to get tight and to sort of cling to feelings of like you have to protect the idea. And I'm speaking mostly about songs, but I actually think this applies to a lot of different things. If we stay sort of fluid and we allow things to kind of come and go, the best ideas return if they're really good.
All right, last one for you. The first place I can't wait to perform at is?
Radio City is might be my favorite venue in the world. The first time I played there was a show I will just never forget. There was just such a marked shift in the atmosphere, and my dad was there and I like sang him a song, and it was just super, super meaningful. And then I got to host the Tonys, and we did the Tonys from Radio City. And so that place has a lot of history and like a lot of milestones for me. So I can't wait to play Radio City again.
Well, when you do, we will be there front row.
Good.
Sara Bareilles, thank you so much for being here, for answering our questions, for playing our game. We're so excited for you. Congratulations. Your new album, Amidst the Chaos, live from the Hollywood Bowl, is out now. Thank you so much again for your time.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for watching our interview with Sara Bareilles. Make sure you stream her new album, Amidst the Chaos, live from the Hollywood Bowl, out now on iHeartRadio, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.